Hello everybody, hello Sportingbet customers. Let's have a look at some of the games at the Champions League. Of course, being the last game of the group stages, it's everything to play for in some cases. I'm going to be in Stamford Bridge and I want to see how those two teams, Chelsea and Valencia, react to the situation. They are two fantastic managers. You cannot just analyse him in any other way. Two young managers, promising managers. I've spoken to both of them this season a few times, and the idea basically is that they are very stubborn as well. They had a very clear idea of how things have to be done. In the case of Unai Emery, he just likes to rotate, to make sure that everybody's fresh, 4-2-3-1 formation, and one that is going to apply very clearly to the game against Chelsea. And as you know, a 0-0 draw will be enough for Chelsea, but a 1-1 draw that will put Valencia through. And have a look at the stats. Some of them are quite fascinating in the sense that it's suggesting that a draw is possibly the most likely outcome. Chelsea have draw, I think it is 6 out of the 7 games that they played with the Spanish opposition, and that suggests that things are going to be very equal, and everything will depend on little details, something that both managers are obsessed about. Unai Emery will have Soldado up front. You have to say, if anybody's going to score, it's going to be him. Jonas, although he's scoring in La Liga, he tends to be the assistant to Soldado. And for Chelsea, well, I'll tell you one thing that I've got the impression is going to happen. Mata, although we've seen a Mata that it's using his space very cleverly in the Premier League, especially when he plays more in the centre than when he plays wide, in Europe it's different. And I know he scored in Europe, but even so, Valencia knows how to play, not just him, but these kind of players that likes to move between the lines. We will see if he starts in a wide position or what, but in any case, I don't count on him as to be the likely goal scorer. It'd be somebody else, if he Drogba, if he starts perhaps. 1-1 right to the end, and then what? Well, it seems to be the case that when Spanish teams go to Stamford Bridge, they drop the level a little bit. I don't know if intimidated by the atmosphere, which in European nights tends to be amazing, or if it's just to the fact that Chelsea is always a very competitive team now and they're very proud. The fact is, I think there will be chances at the end. And how about if the hero of that night for Chelsea is Fernando Torres with a goal right in the last few minutes? How does that sound to you? Because I think it may happen. Fernando Torres needs confidence, needs a goal like that could turn the season for him. So how about if Chelsea beat Valencia 2-1? What else? We've got Manchester City versus Bayern Munich, and that will be the game I'll go to after Stamford Bridge. I'll head to Manchester and see what Manchester City are made of, basically. It's one of those games where I tell you the stat that has impressed me the most for this encounter. It is the one that says that Bayern have lost just one of the last 7 Champions League away games. Well, that just means that it's a team that knows how to play in Europe. Manchester City, on the other hand, they have to win, so they will go for the win. They obviously depend on the other result. I don't think Villarreal will put much of an opposition to Napoli, in which case there's nothing to do. But in case they do, Manchester City have to go and win. But Bayern Munich, even though they will be top spot in the group and may not have even Gomez in the lineup, they're still at the most dangerous when they counter-attack. And that's what they can do, and they will do against a Manchester City side that they've got this offensive mentality at the moment. They just go forward and leave gaps at the back that have not been exploited in the Premier League, but they will be exploited and have been exploited in Europe. I think Bayern Munich, will actually score away, and that will make things very difficult to Manchester City. That may end up with a victory, but as I'm thinking, it's just won't be enough because Villarreal will probably be beaten. But fascinating game, and I hope to see some of the Sportingbet customers over there. If you are over there, just say hi and let's have a beer at some point. But there's one more game I look at, got some, and that will be my betting choice. I'm going to put money on this actually. And it is Manchester United to win, and Manchester United to win with a clean sheet as well. They've just lost one of the last 25 Champions League away games.
what did I tell you about Bayern Munich? Exactly the same. They know how to play these kind of games. And it was very surprising to see Basel actually to get a point at Stamford Bridge. Surprising because it didn't look like it was going to happen, but not so much in terms of surprise when you see what's happened to Manchester United since. They just lack the strength in the midfield, the skill in the midfield, the hard work and defensive work in the midfield that stops these kind of games right through the middle. So if you basically are 2-0 up, the old Manchester United would have killed it off. This new Manchester United, they just don't. But it's a crucial stage of the competition. We've seen a Basel that, well, they were disappointing in the rest of the competition as well. They barely managed to beat Otello Galati, which probably, I've seen them against Manchester United, probably were the poorest team in the competition, in the group stage for sure. So the problem for Basel to actually get the score that they need is that their defense is too poor. You can see Rooney scoring, you can see perhaps scoring twice, although that's not something that Manchester United have done a lot this season, but they will certainly beat Basel in the last game, and as I'm saying, with a clean sheet. How about that? If I'm not right, my dear Sportingbet friends, come back to me and tell me later. Cheers and enjoy it.